Hello, my friends and gems. So we're getting started here today. I'm so excited to share with you some exciting revelations. And we have a special guest today who is sharing his story, Body and Mind Transformation for 2024. Fito, is your audio connected, Fito? There you are. How are you doing, my beautiful friend and gem? Hey, Primo. Can you hear me? Fito, can you hear me? Is the audio connected? It looks like it is. Want to make sure that we can hear you and you can hear me. Can you hear me okay?
Oh, God, it's hilarious.
Hey, Fito, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. Fito. Hey, Fito, can you say something? Because I think maybe your Bluetooth is not connecting and you're not hearing. Hey, Fito, I can't hear you. Fito? Oh, you're connecting to audio. Okay, I see. So the audio is connecting. Fantastic. We're so excited to have you here. Okay, Fito, can you hear now?
Okay, now I'm good. Yeah, I was trying to go through the
There
settings.
you go. How are you doing, my beautiful friend and Jim? So excited to have you here today and to share your incredible story. So I know that you don't have too much time, so I want to make sure that people get to hear your before and after, and you're going to be able to give hope to a lot of people who feel hopeless and become now hope-filled, because this is a great story. So bottom line is, so back in 1998, the story is that you had been diagnosed to having HIV positive, and you
Yeah.
had when you came to me in the summer of, it was basically in 2022, you had multiple organ failure and you had a calcified parasite in your brain, and then you weren't eligible. The calcified parasite in your brain was inoperable. And was that correct? And you were having epileptic seizures, right? Vito? Oh, I got to get you to unmute. You were having seizures, right? From the calcified parasite in your brain, right?
Yeah, that parasite
Oh, your audio keeps on
all
cutting
the
out.
way.
Okay.
That little critter, he went all the way from the stomach all the way to my brain, and he decided to make my brain his home and his dinner.
Okay. And then, so on top of that, you also had HIV positive status, so you weren't eligible for any kind of an organ transplant. Is that correct?
Yeah, because it was in the brain. They kind of just do like a burnt toast and burn the scrape off.
Yeah. So fast forward to June of 2022, and we got you started on the stem cell activation patches. You got started on 5, which you're still on to this day, correct?
Mhm.
And then what happened in December, just 6 months after your being on the patches? What were the results of the blood tests?
It was non-detectable, which is every patient's goal. So yeah, and been non-negative since then up to now.
Till now, okay.
Mhm. And
Fantastic. So
thank
that's,
God we continue like that.
thank goodness, and you continue that way. So
Mhm.
would you say that you've had a real radical life transformation, everything from not just having a paper that tells you that you have the absence of HIV now, because you went from positive to negative, but you just told me today that you gained 30 pounds.
Yeah, that's too much.
It's too much, but you're living much better.
Yeah,
You're,
that's it.
in what state are you in today?
We're working up in Nebraska, but this weekend we were off, so we went across the river to Iowa.
Iowa. Okay.
Yeah, at the casino here, trying to get some grub. You get a nice buffet, so fixing to hit it.
That is so fantastic. So if there's anything that you could advise people, I know that I want to thank you for being so gracious. You're willing to share your blood test and results so that we can show people. Because when you were, can you imagine? I remember when we started you on the patches, you were very hopeful of unringing the bell of damage that you had in your body, and everything has pretty much resolved itself. And even from not being able to work, you're able to work. And I know one of your first goals was to buy a house. And I found out today that you bought a house last summer.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
so you have a lot to celebrate. So you have your life back, you're abled, you're living a great, fun, joyous life. You've got a new home, you get to travel all over the country. So what would you want to advise someone who is in your spot who had not just HIV positive, but you had a calcified parasite in the brain that was inoperable and all these other complications?
Oh, yeah.
What would you want to tell yourself if you could roll back the hands of time?
So I could be me. I said, don't get it. Don't be, don't be going out there and thinking you're some kind of playboy, but regardless, uh, I mean, it's a life changer. Once they gave me that,
The
I
life.
remember it was yesterday. I was 20, 24, 25 years, I think I was. And boy, ooh,
Yeah.
that turned my world upside down.
Yeah.
But
So
it took me some time to finally breathe and accept that, okay, we gotta deal with it now. So eventually, started going with the program, getting the pill, getting stabbed every 3 months just to check. And then, but it was okay. But those pills were damaging my liver. Those pills are, I don't know what the hell they put in them, but they're just... So eventually, I stopped taking them because I didn't want my liver to get hurt.
yeah.
So this virus get back up again, up and roaring, raging up on my health. Then I got then when I start getting them seizures, but it wasn't because of that. It was because of that damn parasite, neurocystic sarcosis, something like that. The name.
Yeah.
That's the one that big.
And if your
So
immune system was strong, and you didn't have HIV, probably your immune system could have kept that from happening. But because you
yeah,
have a compromised immune system,
yeah,
so
yeah. But then, and some toxoplasmosis. I got toxoplasmosis like twice. That's another infection in the brain.
yeah, and that's also from the parasite too. So
No, that's from that's one of them opportunistic infections they call when your immune system is down, that comes up.
yeah,
And of course, the one that killed me almost 3 times, because I got it 3 times, was the PCP. That's the most it is Carini pneumonia. That one, that, that one almost got me.
I almost got you.
So here we
So,
are.
so how do you feel on a scale from 0? I mean, I can't imagine since 1998 carrying the burden of an HIV positive status and all the complications that you just described up until December of, because just 6 months of being on the patches,
Mhm.
and you were freed from those chains of pain. From 0 to 10, what would you say you feel now? Like 0 being terrible, 10 being just on cloud 9.
Like a 10, I just feel normal. Like, you know, I do my thing, go work, make decent money, and
Yeah. So
it's
you got,
all it's all it's all good. No, it's like it's never happened.
yeah. It's like it was all a bad dream, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So never want to do that again. Okay, Fito, I know that you're there with your friends at a casino in you said it was Iowa or Idaho?
Iowa.
Iowa. Okay, so we'll let you get back to your having fun, and thank you for sharing with us about this story of transformation. And you're going to help a lot of people, save a lot of lives, and give them hope. Really, the patches, you can really unring the bell of damage from anything. And so here's an example of another person who got his whole life back. Things were getting infinitely worse, and now things are just getting infinitely better. Okay, Fito, thank you so much. I love you. Mwah, my friend and gem. Okay, Primo,
All right.
if you want to stay
And
on, that's cool, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to share a little bit more about the patches now, okay?
I got some guys that are waiting for me, my co-workers over there. But anytime, you need to call to, hear my story, get somebody else to hear, so they can say, "Hey, this guy the real thing."
That's a real thing. It actually does work.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, fantastic.
Anytime
Thank you.
we're here, Leland. We're here.
We're
We're here
here.
for you
Awesome.
and for everybody there that's watching.
All righty. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, my friends and gems. So there you go. You've heard it. Let me share about the patches here. And I've got some new exciting things because I definitely figured out what I want to be when I get older. And that is younger. We can all turn back the hands to a younger, healthier time in history when we were healthy. And so I want to welcome you to this life-saving technology. You can look vibrant, feel great, enjoy life as we age. And what if you could change the journey or the trajectory of your aging and slow it down and eventually stop it and then reverse it? What if? It is possible. Here we talk. Let me share with you Allie's story. Here she's in her early 30s. She lived a very healthy lifestyle. She did yoga on a daily basis. She traveled, which was her two big loves were yoga and travel. And she started noticing in her early 30s that she couldn't party all night. And she was really starting to get a little concerned about staying youthful. And of course, as time progressed, she had more and more pressure at work. And certain days she would become more anxious than others, but she really couldn't, she wasn't a drug user. She is somebody who really embraced a healthy, holistic lifestyle. She couldn't really put her finger on why it was that she was having these experiences. And then we have Dr. Stacy. Dr. Stacy happens to be my business partner in her late 40s. She always has lived a very healthy lifestyle. Her family, teaching, traveling are her loves. She has always felt amazing. She started doing parasite cleanses and detoxes when she was 18 years old. She's always been very focused on prevention, longevity as a priority, always learning new ways to stay healthy and vitality and overall wellness in all areas of her life, not just one. And so here we have Carla, who's in her mid-50s, loves being active, loves her granddaughter. She noticed changes where all of a sudden she's starting to get aches and pains, more fatigue, gaining weight unexpectedly, no changes in diet or anything else, but all of a sudden she's gaining weight, not sleeping well, having back pain, and just starting to really see a more progressive getting older and looking and feeling older. And her doctor just kept on telling her, you're just getting older. And we can run tests. And of course, they're always offering prescription drugs. And so she's wondering if she could ever look and feel younger again. And then we have Ben. Ben in his mid-60s, just very active, a very avid runner, looking forward to his retirement and traveling. But he started noticing aches and pains, decreased libido, and not sleeping well, and having knee pain. Seems like so many people have bone-on-bone knee pain. And so he also noticed that he had decreased libido, and we have a terrible epidemic with people not sleeping well from teenagers all the way to the elderly. Used to be something that was reserved, I should say, for the 50, 60, 70-year-olds, but now like 80 to 90% of teenagers in high school have a sleeping disorder. They actually have trouble sleeping and have severe insomnia. So his stamina was also on the decline, and it would take him much longer to recover from his workouts. And so he was really starting to get concerned with heart disease, whatever prescription meds, possible knee replacement. That's such a horrible surgery to endure. But he was wondering if he was going to be able to travel and be mobile when he would retire. So, finally getting to that big milestone of retiring and then not being able to travel and be active and do all the things because his body's not cooperating is kind of a depressing prospect, right? So then one of his friends asked, hey, have you ever heard about this patch? What do you know about stem cells? And has anybody told you about these stem cell activation patches? And so the thing to note is that your stem cells, when you're born, you have 23,600, actually, let's go before you're born. At conception, you have 23,688 genes and stem cells that immediately have all of them master the smart master programming to form you in your mother's womb, and so that you can grow into an embryo, then into a fetus, and then by the time you're 30 years old, 50% of your stem cells turn off. And fast forward, for every decade thereafter, you have 50, 60, 70, 80, 90% of them turn off, not because they're damaged, disappeared, not because they're destroyed. They simply go dormant when you're 60 years of age. And so you age faster with the less stem cells that you have available to you until you apply a stem cell activation patch that turns on a third of those previously dormant stem cells. So a lot of people ask, well, what about stem cell injections? Well, first of all, they're expensive. Dr. Stacy, who I just showed you in a picture earlier here, she paid over $125,000 for stem cell, not injections, but IV for her daughter. Had to travel outside of the country because, of course, it's not available here in the United States any longer. It's now considered illegal. It's painful, it's expensive, doesn't always work, it's invasive. There's always possible side effects because usually people are using donor stem cells. There's no guaranteed results. So what if there was a more affordable, more effective and efficient, tried and proven way to activate your stem cells? Would you? Might you be interested? Well, let's talk about David Schmidt. He is what I call a modern day, like Nikola Tesla, Einstein, and Steve Jobs all melded into one human being, very divinely tuned and tapped and turned on. He is the inventor of these stem cell activation patches. Developed phototherapy energy technology for the US Navy SEALs almost 24 years ago. This is the 20th year that these patches, we have specifically this one, this is what he created and invented for the Black Ops Navy SEALs. The Department of Defense had contracted him and had him invent all sorts of things, at which time they said, hey, can you invent something to enhance the energy of the Black Ops Navy SEALs? And right now we give them amphetamines, uppers, energy drinks, work great, but when they wear out the effects of that, they crash and it's very hard on their bodies. At which point he actually invented the very first energy enhancer stem cell activation patch. This company was founded in 2004. He developed a suite of phototherapy products, of which there's 11 stem cell activation patches. And we're in our 20th year where we are available now, to the public. And we have laboratories and manufacturing that are not only in California and Ireland. There's actually 12 distribution centers serving 82 countries. Our California manufacturing plant is FDA registered, and these are FDA compliant class 1 medical devices. All right. So this is patented phototherapy. We have over 120 global patents that actually went through 82 governments for this to be available to 82 different countries. They are a wearable, it's like a solar panel that you put on your body. They work anywhere on the body, top to bottom, front to back. It uses specific wavelengths of light to activate stem cells without any injections. Safe, non-drug, non-transdermal. That means that nothing transfers into the skin, and there's over 80 clinical studies available. This reduces pain and inflammation, and it speeds wound healing and tissue repair. Here we have a few people. We started off with Fito at the beginning of this broadcast, sharing how he went from the burden of having HIV positive since 1998. And then you heard about all the, the toxicology report that basically he shared with us from the calcified tumor in his brain and all the other complications and infections that he had, liver damage, etc. Wasn't eligible for a liver transplant because of his HIV status. And now he's enjoying 13 months because 6 months after being on the patches, and we don't make any medical claims, but in December, he became HIV free for the first time since 1998. So here we have someone who you can clearly see the skin rejuvenation effects of being on the patches. Here's somebody with a pretty nasty, that's a terrible bruise, terrible accident they must have suffered. And from June 17th to 13 days later, look at that. That would normally take several months to clear. And here you have 13 days later, he had broken ribs and he fell through a ceiling, broke 6 ribs, and punctured his lung, had extreme pain, as you can only imagine. Excuse me. He had expected recovery for 6 weeks. He was back to work in half the time, in 3 weeks. We have so many people. I have the youngest patient who actually had, this is showing a 6-year-old. We also have someone that we patched who's in Canada. Damaris's son, who was 4 years old, had almost the same thing happen, where the tip of his finger was unfortunately chopped off, and in record time, and even the nail grew back, just as in this person's case too. It was really quite remarkable. Here's another person who also had a very fast recovery after terrible radiation treatments. You can wear the patch through any treatment with any over-the-counter prescription. It doesn't interfere with surgeries. I've had people who have had back surgery, neck surgery, knee surgery, and they've worn the patches throughout their surgery, and every single person has had a more expedient recovery, and their doctors are always amazed at how quickly they recovered. Okay, so here I want to show you, this is showing you a person's brain who was scanned, and they had, wherever you see the red, that is the inflammation in the person's brain. And shows you after session 1, session 2, session 3, you see how they had a lot of inflammation in the first scan, the second scan, much less, and in the third scan, there's like no inflammation. This person also benefited with improved memory, focus, cognitive brain function. And that's because when you put this patch on, you activate GHKCU. That is what is programmed with these organic crystals. They're organic sugar crystals, salt crystals, hydrogen, oxygen, water crystals, and a proprietary blend of organic amino acids. And your skin doesn't absorb those. Those are just a mechanical device that's acting like a diamond crystal to reflect back the light back into your skin. Okay, so some of the results are you get deeper, better, sounder sleep, because the research studies show, and all of the scientific studies show, that your brain, when you wear this patch, you go into a deep REM state. And in REM state, that's where GHKCU is produced and activated inside of the body, which naturally is going to give you more energy. And so here we have someone who says, faster recovery thanks to LifeWave activation patches. I was able to climb another 14,000-foot peak. It's been 4 years since I climbed because of my knee. Very exciting. So the word is out. One of the things that this is great is that it's not just for people who have been diagnosed with something, or people who have pain and serious conditions of the body, disrepair, trauma from an accident, like in my case, where I was hit by a bus and suffered a traumatic brain injury, neck injury, back injury. There are people who are peak performers who are in great health, like Dr. Stacy was. People like Serena Williams and David Beckham, they wear the patches. The Chargers NFL team, they just got started on the patches recently. Michael Phelps, when he won his 7 medals, he was wearing our patches. And so forth and so forth. So professional athletes, Olympic athletes, college athletes, someone who just loves whatever sport it is that you have a passion for. Guess what? This is a fantastic supplement. Just like you take vitamins to supplement and to aid your body, this is a wonderful supplement for you to add to your daily habit. So what if you could be younger, more youthful, more of you is turned back on. So that's what's happening with these patches. So again, you get stem cell activation, increased energy, greater mental clarity, faster wound healing, younger looking. You get increased muscle, bone, tissue, and nerve regeneration, and improved sleep. So if anything were possible, what is the one thing you choose to experience differently with your health, or in the health of someone that you love and care for? Maybe you or somebody you know might benefit from the relief of activating their stem cells. What could you do with that? What difference might that make? So there are multiple ways that you can get started on the patches. You can, we're not going to charge you $1 million or charge you $8,000 to $25,000 for an IV or an injection session of stem cells. You can get started, and it's as simple, even a 4-year-old can apply a patch. It's like applying a Band-Aid. And for $5 a day, you can get a 30-day, this is a sleeve, which is a specialized envelope that will protect the patches from environmental light. And so $5 a day is $149 basically per month. But we can get you on a doctor wholesale pack where you would get for silver, that would be 3 of these, or gold, that would be 5 of these, or you could be on the Fantastic 5, which would be not just this patch, but some of the other patches, like we're not going to get into those today, but the X49, the glutathione carnosine patches, we'll customize this based on whatever your needs are, okay? And then we have the platinum and our most popular, because we do recommend that you be on the patches for the next 12 months. So you might ask, well, why would that be? Well, it's like, if you're going to start, for example, a vitamin regimen, or if you were to work out and you say, okay, I want to get back into shape, I want to get good muscle tone and so forth. You're not just going to do that for 1 month and expect yourself to be in shape the rest of your life. No, you need to commit to the next year, going to the gym 3, 4, 5, 6 times a week, right? So that your body is being daily, ministered to, right? And so just like you have to eat every day, you need to take supplements every day. You need to activate your cells every day because your organs and all of your cells work 24/7 as long as you're alive. So we recommend for the next 12 months you be on the patches so that the 56 trillion cells that you have in the body, that normally it would take you 7 years to turn them all over. Like right now, the oldest cell in your body is 7 years old, but the newest cells in your body are just milliseconds old. So being on the patches for the next year would give you enough time to replace the majority of those 56 trillion cells so that you can replace, restore, and regenerate whatever it is that you have going on in your body, or optimize your body as much as possible, okay? So I want to thank you for your time and attention. I want to make sure that I answer any questions that you guys might have. Anybody here, do you guys have any questions that I can perhaps answer for you? Anybody have any questions? Okay.
I like your new presentation.
Thank you, Carol. I appreciate it.
Really like it. I enjoy it thoroughly.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Carol. Any other questions? If no one has any other questions, make sure you get back to the person who referred you to this video. For those of you who are on YouTube, you may have had a friend and Jem who may have referred you to this YouTube link. Just get back to the person who sent you the link and we'll make sure that we answer all of your questions. And let's see, oh, there's somebody here that's putting something here in the chat. Great class, just received. Oh my goodness, you got your blood work back and your thyroid results were, wow, fantastic. 6.51 on your blood work. Very cool. Great to hear all the different testimonials. Yes, Monty. All righty, my friends and gems. Well, thank you very much for that. I want to let you guys go so that you enjoy the rest of your Saturday. And if you're on YouTube, make sure you like this video and you hit that notification bell so that every time we upload a new video, you are alerted as to the latest and greatest. Okay. Ciao for now, my friends and gems.